Live. I'm so sorry about that. I apologize. It's just very hectic and last minute things come up. I'm glad to see you though. Hopefully you're not too mad. I'm about a half hour late here. I just sent an email out to everyone, so I apologize for that. It's very chaotic here. It's extremely chaotic. But it's good to see you. Hopefully, I'll give it a couple minutes. Hopefully, you guys didn't totally abandon me. No more fans anymore. No more Bob Ross fans. Guy messaged me or called me. He said, your phone number comes up Bob Ross. I didn't know my business line comes up Bob Ross. Why does it say Bob Ross? Why does it say Bob Ross? I'm going to tell you the story of why some people call me Bob Ross, but I'm hoping to just see, Daytona Beach, Florida Real Estate, Tiffany Garten and team. It's great to see you. My favorite postcard realtors. What was I going to say? Oh, the story of why some people call me Bob Ross. I want to talk today just about general good business advice. General good business advice for local businesses. You will never get me away from local small businesses. Small local businesses. I love it. I love it. I'd much rather work with a small, tiny business, mom and pop, small business than any big corporate environment or anything like that. I don't want none of that. None of that crap. If any of you have done, especially in marketing, or have worked for corporate kind of stuff, like just getting things to move. Like I'm doing postcard mailing right now for this financial large. It's like 2 weeks just to get like, if there's a minor change to the postcards, it's like a 2-week process. It has to go through so many corporate channels and their compliance teams and everything, like the most minor things. It takes like months to get a postcard together. And even though they spend a lot of money, it's the time. It's so slow moving. It's like it has to go through so many different legal and compliance and checks, and it's just so frustrating. I can't imagine working with that. And that got to be true for things like social media and stuff as well. Like you got to get everything approved through HR and whatnot. I love the freedom that we have as business owners. I love it. Absolutely love it. But it is tough in the United States, at least. Like anyone can run a business. Like that's a great thing. Anyone can run a business, but that also means that you're going to have really high rates of failure. I see this statistic all the time, but I think it's like, I see different ones, but I think it's like 80% of all businesses fail in the first like 2 years, I think. Maybe 5, but by 2 or 3 years, like most businesses that start will fail. It's just so easy to start a business, but it's so hard to run a business, run a successful business. So maybe we should talk about the things that can prevent you, no matter what industry you're in, or if you're a marketer, because you're also, even if you're a marketing professional, you're also a business owner, but you're also working with business owners. Maybe we can talk about some things that will prevent you from failing or take you to these next levels, because there's little things that happen all the time that you can kind of fix and you don't have any problem, and you won't have these problems that could shut down your business. If you have any of these advices, please mention them. But I'm gonna give you mine too. Corey, it's great to see you. It's great to see all you guys. Late start. I just sent the email, so by the time I'm done, if everyone get the email, by the time it works through the internet. Okay, let me put banner up here so we can see this. What are your advices for local business owners? That are some good advices. I know advice isn't the proper grammar, but I was never that great. I'm very good at spelling, extremely good at spelling, but not the best at grammar. At least I can spot when something's wrong. I would say, let's just throw some out there. Problems that we see all the time. Marketing is great, and I think marketers tend to say marketing's everything. It's the easiest thing for us to say. You can run a business indefinitely, like forever, as long as you have enough cash coming in. You can run a business that fails. Like there's plenty of businesses that are not doing well financially or losing money, but you're able to generate enough cash, whether that's through cash you have saved or borrow. You can go a long time running a business that's in the red, that has no hope, that is hanging on by a thread. You can run it for a long time, decades, years, if not decades, because you have money, enough money stored away, enough money borrowed, a windfall, just enough cash coming in. You're a master at paying Peter, borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. You can keep, and many businesses are running that way. Marketing is kind of a great tool to have that you can generate money. Like if you're good at marketing, if you've got a solid marketing plan in place, it's working, and you're good at marketing, you can generate cash to kind of offset the problems that you might be having in your business, the deep-rooted problems, the root cause or whatever, which is why marketing is important to know, because it can get you out of a lot of tough binds. I've saved myself. I almost kill myself. I need to talk about that once in a while. I almost stabbed myself in the throat one time over a stupid amount. It was barely any money, but I thought it was the end of the world. Like I thought I was done. It was so stressful. But because of my marketing ability, and I was kind of forced to, I was forced to be creative, I was able to figure it out and generate enough money in a short period of time. I think many of us have had those experiences, especially if you're a business owner over a long time. You've been down to the wire and you've had to figure something out, and you figure it out, and you put a bunch of effort in, and you put your mind, you focus, and you come up with these creative ways to get yourself out of a pinch with marketing. So marketing is sometimes just like a Band-Aid. It's like having a lot of Band-Aids. But ultimately, marketers don't like this. It's more than just marketing. Like there's things in business that are not just marketing that you have to resolve to run a successful business too, I think. And I'm interested in hearing people's thoughts on that as well. Bruce, yes, thank you. But thank you for showing up. Tim, great to see you, Tim. You should have you have all sorts of stuff going on. Thank you. Oh, wow, it showed up. That's amazing. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Cersei. I finally show up. Finally got on live. So let's talk about some things. You can talk about marketing, but I'm going to talk about just things in general. Not having systems and procedures. If you don't have things systemized and you're just wildly doing everything, that's bad. That's bad. You should be able to systemize everything. I think that you should have. Oh, it's good to see you, Scott. I appreciate you showing up here. And if you have employees, we have 7 total employees, 6 or 7. It's important that you have procedures that almost anyone can follow, because you can't be too reliant on someone. As much as you may like your employees, and your employees can be amazing for you, you have to know that they can quit at any time. And this is whatever. This could be a real estate team. You could lose your star realtor at any time. You can, and it. Like no matter how good you treat people, they can leave. They can be convinced the grass is greener elsewhere. Something can happen. They can leave. If your business is super reliant on 1 or 2 people or specific people, that's a problem. And it's not that you don't care about that employee or anything. You don't are grateful enough for them, but you got to know that anything can happen. They could die. Something could happen. They could get sick and move. Tragic event, whatever, and your business could just fall apart like that. I mean, imagine, I'm just use real estate example, and your star, like you own the brokerage or the team, and your star broker like leaves. It could be absolutely devastating, like crush your whole thing. You have to know as an owner, and you have to think about this. What if I lose my top person? In some businesses, you have to be really considerate of, if they're too good, they may steal from you. They may steal clients from you, customers. They may steal your information, your resources, your vendors, your systems. Like, if they're really smart and they're really, really good, like, and I know this because I did it. I did it twice, and I had it done to me. I had it done to me as well twice. So if you have like these top performers, you have to just know that there's a possibility they could leave, and that's okay. You could still, I'm not saying fire them, but the point is that you should have systems and procedures so that you can replace them, so that they are replaceable. It's just good business sense, because if something were to happen, if they left, your business won't fail, that you will still be able to run that position because it's proceduralized, it's systemized. A new person only has to do this, and this will help your business dramatically if you can give employees very clear instructions. Do this, follow these steps. You can get workers to do incredible things that are like everyday workers, like people off the street. Like, I'm meaning just someone that's not particularly like skilled. You can give them a new task. And if you proceduralize these things, if you give them checklists, you do the work and give them checklists, do this, they just follow the checklist. There's something like a monkey's in the factory or something. Like, that's how it really should be. That also allows you to hire people for a much lower rate. You don't have to go finding someone and paying them $100,000 a year when you can maybe be able to find someone for $15 an hour, $20 an hour or something. And that mitigates your risks in case something goes wrong. You can always really appreciate and super appreciate the people you have working for, but you should never be in a position where if they left, it would be a total disaster. And they should know that too. You want your employees to know that as well, that like they are replaceable, that the whole business does not, that maybe it's important that they have there and you're very respected that they're there, but the business isn't going to fail, because that will keep them on their toes. It's good for everyone. It's just good for everyone to be kept on their toes. So many businesses out there are hinged on some key employees, and if those employees leave, they're done. If your business is dependent on that, you need to fix that. Does everyone agree? Zillow hasn't made a profit yet. Started in 2000. There we go. You see these businesses all the time, local businesses. You don't know what kind of condition they are. Watch a freaking Gordon Ramsay or any of those Hotel Hell, any of those shows. You'll see businesses that look very profitable, and they look like you'd swear that these people are just doing, and they're 6 weeks away from being totally broke. If you have cash coming in, you can sustain a business for indefinitely. Why marketing is important, because you can always rely on it to bring in cash when you need it. But there are deep-rooted problems in a business that are much more ultimately important than just marketing. You can't fix everything with marketing. My number one worry about bringing employees on is having someone take my seat. Yeah. I've had it happen. I don't know if you know that story, but I've had it happen. I've had my right hand guy. He was, and you have to know, like, finance too. You see all the time, people, the bookkeeper is taking advantage of you. If you don't know that position, especially finance and accounting, they can take advantage of you tremendously. You see this all the time. The bookkeeper steals money. It's decades they can go without doing it because the business owner didn't know what they were doing. So you should know those positions in and out. But what happened with me, like I had a employee who was like forging a contract that I'm not going to get into now, but it was very sketchy and capturing the difference, making one contract of a sale higher on their end and then lower on my end, and no one was the wiser, and he was pocketing the difference. But then they ended up taking my whole team and creating a duplicate company with the same name pretty much, and taking my customers, and pitching them as the same company. And they were, so that I had that go on. And I did the same thing. I stole systems. My whole business, I stole the systems. Like I've of course made some of my own, but I started like not in marketing, but in the window business. Like I was selling home improvements. I learned everything from my crazy freaking boss, insane, narcissistic, like berserk freaking nutcase, but had the most amazing systems. I learned direct mail from that. I took all those systems and brought them over to my own home improvement company. Like I literally just I didn't steal employees, and I didn't steal customers, but I stole the systems. That knowledge, like Corey's saying, is you have to know that people will. So I'm going to tell you how to prevent that, in my opinion, how to mitigate it. One is, don't hire people that are too smart. Doesn't that sound terrible? You don't need to hire super smart, like you just, I don't want to say dumb people. My employees are definitely not dumb. You want to hire your everyday people. That's your everyday people. I don't look when I hire, and I have a really good hiring. Like my employees are all long term. I mean, I do have one new employee, but almost all of our employees are like 3-4 years plus. Like we have like very little. You could go back 10 years, and our average employee is like here for years. We have very, very low turnover. So I suggest looking for people who are not super go-getter, like I don't say go-getter, like entrepreneur. You have to think, is this person capable? Is this someone that I have to be worried about of stealing, whether it's customers or systems? Do they have the brain power? That sounds so bad to say. Is it that person? I would rather hire a person who can get the job done that just wants to go home and smoke pot all day. Like, and that's their thing. Like they're happy with some freaking with just the basics, and then they're happy, they're good, rather than trying to hire these superstars that you think are going to like do all this work. No one's going to work harder in your business than you. You don't need to hire someone who's like ultra brilliant, super, like if you get that, because they will leave. They will take your stuff the same, I'm sure, same with real estate, insurance, whatever. You have to be mindful of that. If they are too potentially threatening, you have to be mindful of that. Now, the other thing is to not have them doing everything. Give you an example. I learned this early on when I was selling home improvements. I was in the sales part. There was also telemarketing. There was marketing, finance, and the owner kept everyone really separate. Like the lead setters did not talk to the salespeople. They were completely separated. The people who like sent the leads, that they would call dispatch, were totally separate. Were kind of like an in between, and they weren't like, everything was really, really separated. And that was so everyone's job was solely focused on that, and you didn't see what was going on in other parts. My employee, like 3 of our employees, I mean, Mary Grace kind of knows, but like Caitlin, Catherine, they don't know. Like, that's why I don't bring them on here. Like, they don't even know. Like, they worked for me for years, and they don't even know that I do what I'm talking to you about. Like, they don't. If you were to get all my employees together in one room, it would be weird. They would not like know what, because they're all doing different things and seeing different parts of the business. And that's important just to keep people focused. But also for Corey's problem here, you don't want one person knowing too much, because then you don't want them knowing where you source things, everything from, or your profit. You don't want your bookkeeper knowing that. You don't want them knowing what your bookkeeper knows, and how much money you're making, or where you're getting things, or how you're getting things, even like how you're getting your shipping, and how you're like all these things that you've really worked hard to gain an advantage of. You don't want to just hand someone that in a silver plate. You want to, if they want to go out on their own and be entrepreneurs on their own, they have to figure this stuff out themselves. So don't think you're going to hire someone to set leads, knock on doors, organize all their leads, and come up with a strategic game, then go sell the things, and then arrange the graphic design. Like you will never, first of all, you will never get someone to do all that, and it's be highly inefficient. So you want to hire people who are just doing one specific task. A really great business will have people running specific tasks and not running all over the place. Then you end up with that one person who does everything, and they don't do it that great, or God forbid they do it great, and they can take your business out from under you at any second. John, great to see you. Appreciate you showing up there. We're talking about everything that applies to small business. Oh, our postcards are bringing in calls. Thank you, John. Did some landscaping postcards. That is awesome. I am so happy to hear that. They do work, huh? Some people don't think the postcards work. My friend does friggin' conventions and stuff, and she was like, Jake, do you think it's right she just come before this live show? She goes, do you think it's right that people from, when you go to a convention and people are she goes, some people are bitching about that they didn't get enough sales at the convention and bring them, but basically blaming the convention that they didn't make enough sales. And I said, no, definitely not. Their responsibility would be just to bring the traffic. Like, you would assume that they're going to bring enough people, and it's up to you to sell the things. Maybe you didn't have anything unique enough. Maybe you didn't. So it's the same thing with mail. Like, people want to blame the mail sometimes, but maybe your ad sucked. Maybe your business sucked. Maybe it's not the it's, if you put the right stuff, if you got right timing, you reach the right people, you got a good service, the postcard, whatever medium, it's gonna work. So I'm glad to hear that. It's not just the medium, it's the person on it. Tina, you probably made it. Thank you. Okay. What advice do you think UPS marketing works for cell phone repairs? I think that's great. I see them come through once in a while. I couldn't tell you if I have one that comes consistently through. I do feel like these kind of businesses are not using direct mail to their full potential. So I think, because I think they're very highly Facebook oriented, post on Facebook, social media. And I think that would give you an advantage for cell phone repair, because I do think cell phone repair is a very, not just useful, broad category. Everyone has a cell phone, right? Everyone has a cell phone, but it's one of those things that people, I feel, will save. So if they get a postcard in the mail that's attractive, that's got a good deal on it, I really wouldn't put and my first thoughts are not to put an expiration date, maybe a multiple coupons, but not, because you want people to like grab it and they're going to hold it. It's like a plumber. Someday they're going to need it. And it's something like, okay, I should hang on to this because someday our toilet's going to leak and I'm going to really need this. Someday my phone's going to get cracked. This seems like a really good deal. This will be good to have. And they store it, which is unlike Facebook ads and stuff. People don't like screenshot their Facebook like some people do, but it's easily stored as a postcard. So I would expect that if you did mailings, to not expect a tremendous rush of response, but if you consistently did them over a few months, you're going to see the results. You're going to see results of this coming in and people saying, yeah, I've held on to this postcard. Now's the time. You could also have a QR code on there, or somehow link them to a website where you could then capture their information, or something to bridge them over to where you could get them digitally as well. I think that it's a really broad category. Everyone has a cell phone. Everyone has a cell phone. It's like pizza and stuff, food and stuff everyone eats. But I do think you'll take a little bit of time. You have to go into it knowing you may not start really seeing the results of it for a few months. Send a series of them out. And over those 3 months, just commit to 3 months. I mean, you'll be able to gauge really whether, I think you'll have a little ATM machine. I do. I think underutilized for what you're doing. Inspect what you expect. You can, the great thing about procedures, you can just set standards, hey, this has to get done. Employees need that. They need to know, yourself needs to know, this needs to get done. Today, this needs to get done. We need to go through this, and this is what needs to be done. If you cannot do this, then you're not performing. Then we have to find someone else to do it. I'm giving you the tools to do this. It has to get done. You can break this by day, by week, whatever. By day is good. People want to come into work and they want to know what they can do. Okay, this is a lot, but we can do this. I can have this. I got to get done, and it gets done. You know how many businesses have employees just walking around doing nothing? That is all the time, burning through payroll. No. And sometimes they're really good. I was I was star salesman. I made the company a ton of money. I was the star of the show. The problem was he gave me too much. So I started, I was the guy that could go across all these departments, and I learned all these systems. I learned everything. I learned it all. My first experience with direct mail was it says home improvement salesman. I see on the appointment sheet, it said DM. It would say the source at the top of where it came through. It would have a check mark. So you'd get your appointment. It would say TV. Did they call into TV? TV, phone call, all these things. And they would say DM. And I asked my boss, what's this DM? I said, what the heck is this? And he said, direct mail. And I'm like, what the mail? He's like, yeah, direct mail. He said, we send the mailers. I'm like, mail? This is in the 2000s. late 2000s. So I was like, at that time, mail was like, I didn't even really know the mail because I was not really using the mail. Like I had grown up to where the mail was kind of, I was all internet. So I was like, mail, I was like the mailbox, like people, it was like, what the heck? Like mail. And then I saw a bill one time. I saw a bill and it was for $30,000, I think. If I recall right, I think it was $36,000. Shit, this is the post office. Oh, hang on one second. Dude, I freaking went live and I never got my stuff. All right. So I have a problem. I'm actually streaming live video. I haven't gotten into doing it. Okay. I'm sorry. I asked them if they had some stuff too and don't. Yeah. Yeah. No, I haven't gotten to check. I'm so sorry. I meant to and then. We'll do it. Do you want to? Could you? Yeah, just make a one, if it's on your way. Yes, I may only have a few things. Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, well, I like it. I'm trying to get in the habit of having them come. Oh, yeah, I don't need her. Well, he said he's coming back. Okay, perfect. So if you have stuff too, that's really nice. I really like that. Okay, I gotta get back here. Freaking, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that. Had to tell them to come back because we're not totally ready. These are for mailings that go out. They go out all the time. We have UPS and post office come out. I was saying that I seen this thing. It was like $36,000. Like, holy crap. $36,000 just in direct mail. So I knew at that point that direct mail was working, and that's how I started. That's how I actually learned about direct mail. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Business is running. Randy says, if someone's systems, hey, hopefully this is coming through. I'm trying to stream this in 1080p. I hope it's working. Someone's systems trades are so good that it's their greatest fear to be still. That and make a course from it. This is why I don't. This is why another reason why I don't get my employees, except Carrie Lynn she knows everything about this business, but I don't. You give them a little taste of like the digital stuff, and that's all they want to do. That's all they want to do. It'd be part of that. No, it should not. It should definitely not but you should be protective of it. Correct. You should be very protective of it because you don't want to give people too much. I don't even local people too much stuff. So I like working with you guys because you guys are all over I'm not trying to compete with you. So the one guy freaking sells something in my freaking neighborhood. Thank you, Jeremy. Oh, I appreciate it. I have you on my list to reply back to you because I think you have something important that I did not reply to. And I'm very sorry. I'm struggling trying to keep up with this stuff. Yeah. This is like I'm sure I'm like the mafia and all these like things. It's the same thing. Like you can't drug dealers or whatever. Like if you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into learning whatever systems, whatever advantages you've came up with, whether that's certain vendors, sources, just knowledge in general, you don't want to give all this information just up. It's an asset. You don't want everyone know. Everyone doesn't need to know everything. Oh, it's all right, Dustin. It's all right. I thank you for joining. I'm late too. So, John's here. It made it made it all the way over to Ireland. I love it. Talking about just general business stuff. Best way to get sales for EDDM. It depends on what you're doing. Are you doing like a shared mailer where you got multiple businesses on it? Or are you doing solo mailers where you're just trying to sell single campaigns? Or maybe you're doing like a hybrid thing, like you're doing an M3 or M6 where it's kind of like in between. I'll tell you what I love doing is some of you will agree to Facebook. Facebook Messenger is doing really good, but I think we have an advantage of that because we have brands established and people like if you're doing, it depends on what you're doing. Are you trying to get a few $100? Are you trying to sell $100 ad, a $500 ad, a $5,000 ad? It requires a different kind of approach. The best general advice I can give is to Reaching the owner is the hardest part. Getting in front of an owner is the hardest part. If you have something good, if you have something really good to share, then the sale itself will be relatively easy. But getting in front of the owner is the hardest part. So you have to reach them in the best way possible. For like home service and stuff, that might be calling them on the phone. Because if I call the landscaper, he's going to answer his phone. Like, it's going to be him. I may not reach him. I can't go to his house. You know, he might be working out of his house. I'm not going to go up to his house, but in a real retail environment, I might be able to go to the store and find the person. I might have to call. I might have to get through a gatekeeper. I might have to call. I might have to email. I might have to Facebook message. You have to think, what is the best way to get in front of this person? Thank you. But I do have it on the list. I try to prioritize everything. There's a couple people that I'm a little bit backed up that I shouldn't be, but I'm just doing it. I look at my email inbox and I just look at it right now and it's scary. It is scary, but it's just another one come through. It is all just EDDM. It's the hottest thing. I love it. Stickers. Oh, I gotta get my product on stickers. I don't want to give away that strategy. It's a really good one. Oh my God, I got to put the monthly banger out too. And there's so many good things in there that I have to get out and share. We're talking about other just good things. Having cash in a business is very useful. If you do not have cash, because things will come up that you just need money. You know, money can solve a lot. And being in business, like, have cash accessible. Old lady told me that she owned like this big hotel in Saratoga County, and I was just starting my side business. I was talking to her and I had asked her for advice because she was like obviously really successful and she had beautiful house. Her house was amazing. Saratoga was a real fancy place. And she told me have something along the lines of like, have cash. She's like, you have cash. You're going to need cash. And that just stuck with me. I was like, okay, I need cash. And having cash or access to cash has got me out of a lot of problems. Sometimes you just get buried because you don't have the cash to fix something, you know, if suddenly something goes wrong. Suddenly, you wouldn't believe how much stuff I got at freaking, you know, oh my God. I mean, sometimes it's $1,000 at a time, like just crap, like something goes wrong and you gotta just handle it. You just get to fix it with cash. When you don't have enough cash, you gotta be a little more creative, I guess. It's hard to explain. Business owners will know this, like things come up, and employees don't know this. They don't think, well, these things that come up. I make them in Canva. Isn't that terrible? I just make them in Canva. Flow code, people seem to love flow code, and I have a lot of clients that use flow code. So I'm going to go with flow code, but I literally Canva. You can make QR codes and link them to wherever you want. I'll link QR codes to a redirect, and then you can always redirect things later. What's some other good, just local business things? I think customer service. I used to think it was a joke. I used to think that, because people say that customer service is everything and customer experience. I used to think I was like so stupid. I was like, for the longest time, I'm like, what are you kidding me? Like, no, like that doesn't matter. All that matters is you're selling stuff and who cares if they're, but now, just because the internet is so, people will slander you so quick, and you have reviews and just people, if you don't deliver a really top-notch experience, no matter what business you're in, you are asking for trouble. And I think people who have these poor experiences, they're oblivious to how bad of a reputation their business has. So no matter what you're in, if you pick up the phone, you know, talk nice to people, talk, at least sound sympathetic, just deliver treat them like they're special. I think it's summed down. I always try to treat every single person like they are special, because they're special. There's some that aren't so special, but most people are very special, and treat them like that. People love a great experience. If you go in, you like it or not, buy it or don't, or, you know, if you have that kind of attitude, you're going to just lose people really quick. Have that good experience. Someone, I print business cards for someone and maybe they messed up. Maybe they use the color that didn't come. I reprint it. I spend the money. I reprint it. Whatever makes them happy. I'll do things like, I can't say that because then I'll get harassed for taking cash. I can't say that, but I had a good example, but I can't say it on here. I get harassed. Besides EDDM, what are some other great side gigs that are profitable? I never knew about EDDM. I was like, wow, I should have been doing this the whole time. You are not late to the party. It's been around for a while, but it still hasn't really caught on. It still hasn't, believe it or not. People are they're still so obsessed with social media and internet and SEO and stuff that they don't even think of EDDM. And it's just such a great tool. It's just so amazing. Oh my God, you can send, it's so awesome. You're so new to this, to the whole environment that we have of side gigs that are profitable. Okay, you can do so much of the postcard. You can sell whole postcard campaigns. You can sell spaces on a postcard. You can do things like these community cards. I have a whole course on that. I love these. You pick a little community and you just load them with local businesses, restaurants, all local businesses, and you send this out to the community. And you can tie this in with Facebook and all sorts of stuff, and you get a very small community super amped up and pumped up, and you build a brand, and it's really cheap. You only have to charge you $150, $200 per ad. It's very reasonable. Goes to the whole area. Everyone's passing it around and sharing it. You get a lot of exposure very quick. That's a cool thing. You can also sell printing. So you can use like a wholesale printer like me that has really, really low rates, and I can even blind ship it as you. So you can actually sell the printing. It's an incredible side gig. Printing is a commodity that's used by businesses every day. Like you go to Staples, you go to Minuteman Press, they're just never-ending stream of business owners, as well as like charities and people and nonprofits and stuff that are printing. They need business cards, letterheads, brochures, flyers, stationery, posters, everything, rack cards, handouts, all catalogs, mini booklets, signs, vinyl banners. They're hunting people down for this stuff. And it's actually a pain. Getting stuff printed is a huge pain because you have to go online and try to figure out these specs, weight. You don't know if you got to design it right. You got to make the trip, and you're a busy business owner, and you got to go to the print shop and deal with them. So a great side gig is to sell printing. It's actually establish yourself as like a print marketer. You are a middleman, and you're just going to provide the printing. You're going to go to them, and they need business cards. You make them. You can make them in Canva. You do that work. You can source them through me or any wholesale printer. And then we provide it to them under your name, and you capture the difference. So let's say you're buying the business cards for $30 and you're charging someone $70. You're doing all the work. The business owner doesn't have to do anything, and you're making $40, $50. That's just on the business cards, for example. It's a freaking phenomenal side gig, and it runs out. People run out of business cards. They run out of brochures. They run out of whatever, and they have to order it again. And sometimes these orders are in the many thousands of dollars, and they recur. Sometimes they're a few hundred, sometimes a few thousand. They recur. It's a phenomenal side gig. Absolutely phenomenal. Canva for QR codes. Exactly. Don't mess with what works. You're not going to pay for a QR code service. What's the best way to go about getting a great customer service team? And I do think that taking care of your employees is really important. Again, we have longtime employees, many years each one. I constantly remind them that they're doing a great job. I'm not afraid to tell them they're doing a bad job, and they feel disappointed. Like I tell my designer, Megan, she's a full-time designer, and her work a couple months ago, she was getting lazy. I could tell. So I had to straighten that out. And when you respect your employees and you give them continuous feedback that they're doing good and reinforcement, when you have to straighten them out and you have to bring up like they're underperforming, they're disappointed in themselves. They're extremely disappointed in themselves because you're offering I'm trying to word this right. It's like the yin and yang. if all you're doing is yelling and screaming at your employees and telling them they suck, then you're not balancing it out by also telling them the good when they're doing good. People need to be told that they're doing a good job just as much as they're being told that they're not doing a great job. So there's expectations. There's a certain level of expectation because employees will push that boundary. They will get lazier. They will take longer to do things. They will do things in the minimal amount of effort as possible. If you keep those expectations higher, they have to continuously reach them. So doing things that if they see you doing the same things, they know what that standard is, and it's kind of more evident that they are not performing because you are willing to do the same thing that they do. Hiring the right people and hiring bright people. I don't know. We could go with a whole topic into that. There's no clear-cut answer, but having appropriate standards and expectations. Because you can't just expect people to do their best right off the bat. They have to be told what to do. You don't harass me. You don't ever harass me. Is it through your printing? No, you gotta hit me up. I mean, Print for Super Cheap is technically my retail site, so it's a little bit higher on there. But I just hit me up. Just shoot me an email. I give you the discount rates. And if you're doing like, you're doing like I have some people here that they resell a lot of print, and I give them the best rates possible because you're doing all the work. Like you're bringing the customers in. Like I'm not having to find a customer. So I reward you by a little bit cheaper rates which are already cheap. My rates are already really, really cheap. You could literally take the sites on my site and just resell them. But if you're doing like a huge amount of the work, I generally reward that by a cheaper price because I'm not having to do as much work. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jonathan. I appreciate that a lot. If I could make like videos. I have so many good videos to do, but I can't. It's been so busy. Holy crap, it's been ungodly busy. I wake up in the morning. I've been cycled to work now. I commute by bicycle. It's the only time I get to like where I'm forced not to do something else. But I wake up in the morning. It's so unhealthy. I wake up in the morning. I take my kids to school, but I wake up and I start, answering emails and getting stuff done. And then I literally from when I wake up and I take the kids to school and then I come back and then I catch up on anything that's super urgent priority. I try to get like an employee's list of stuff that they need to do ASAP. And then eventually I make my way over to the office where it's then chaos, like level freaking 10. And I've got to you generally just figure out what is the most pressing, urgent thing. And I'm bombarded by everyone asking me with a different problem. And it is the giant crap storm every morning of trying to, I think it's just like a doctor. I think it's just like a surgeon. They have they have surgeries and someone comes in from the trauma unit and all of a sudden you got to drop everything and do that. And then you meanwhile have 800 other people here. And then you've got to tend to this. And you've all at the same time got to go in that office and deliver the patient in there. And they've got to see that you're not thinking about anything else but them. So you've got to take a second to focus just on them and somehow manage all of this stuff. And it's just an entire day of managing a giant storm of chaos until I pass out. So in between, I might me and Sarah might go to lunch, or we might go get coffee or something, or I've got to go t-ball practice or something, and I'll do that. But then I will literally work till I pass out. I will be working until I pass out every single day until my eyelid cannot hold itself. And I even have to switch computers because I'll get so tired of using the one computer that I have to switch to the next computer, the next laptop, so that it's like a different thing. So it like switches it up. And so my eyes stay open. It's so bad. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate that. Unreal. What time is it? 2:16. Should probably wrap this up soon, but what are some other, I'm just trying to think. I didn't plan this one. I just shot it up. As a business owner, I have such a good video too of the things that you should do, locations. I'm not getting in over your heads, trying to live really below your means and at the lowest kind of possible amount. You can do a lot of damage in a bad sense when you have a lot of money. So I guess that's the downside of having a lot of money. We all know a business owner that was gifted daddy's money or a windfall, and you can spend, these people that start a business, they just came into $100,000, $200,000. They just got a line of credit for $100,000 and they just go crazy. They're buying a super nice office. They're signing a 7-year lease. They're buying all this nice furniture. They spend 10 grand on a website, and they're just blowing through money because they think that is going to, it's what you got to do as a business owner. They think that's what you have to do. We all see this. And then the business tanks. So having all this money doesn't necessarily solve your problems. Like, we all know these kind of business owners, they have the best equipment, they're buying stuff, and from the surface it looks like, oh, they're doing so good. Oh my God, the business owner, they're really just spending daddy's money or the money that they got from freaking slip and fall or something. And they started a business and they just spent so much money, but they weren't business people. You also have to set yourself aside from whatever you are doing in the, like, the right word is don't work in your business, work on it. It's like a landscaper, right? If you really want to grow the business, you can't be whacking weeds all day. Like, your hourly rate is going to be so much. You're going to be doing this $10 an hour work or $15 an hour work when you could just be hiring someone else to do that work. Your importance as a business owner, no matter what business you are in, is really the runnings of the business. There are the financials, because you can get crushed with taxes or not being financially sound, and maybe because you just didn't think of that. The procedures, handling phone calls, organizing things, like, you should be putting people into place to do those things so you can focus in on keeping it all together. You can be the guy who's solving these problems, and eventually you'll have like a manager that will solve the customer problems for you, and they can report to you while you're the person steering the ship. You're making these decisions. Okay, I think we need to go this way. We need to go in this direction. You can focus on these big, large decisions, and you're not sitting there whacking weeds all day. Yes, you should probably be the kind of owner or boss that will have no problem getting out there and whacking the weeds, but that is not, you are doing $10 an hour labor when you could be just giving someone else a job, getting someone else in there to do the work, when you can be doing more important things. So too many business owners are stuck doing these very, very minor things that shouldn't be happening. They're cleaning the toilets and stuff. You should be hiring the janitor to clean the toilets. This is the best. This is the best entrepreneurs right here. They've been through everything. They've been through every channel. They've seen the rock bottom. They know that they can be at rock bottom any other second. I love the feeling that I know you veteran business owners know this feeling. You could be at rock bottom. Everything could go haywire at any moment, but you know you're going to be okay. You know you're going to be able to turn that around because you have such an experience and intestinal fortitude and grasp of business that you know you can turn this around. You've seen it. You know you can, I hate that word pivot. You can like pivot things, you can change directions, and you can figure this out. And if you've done a good job, you're going to have carved out some kind of niche where you are almost untouchable. No one else can really do the thing you're doing in the way you do it. You've emailed back at night. Yeah. People freak out at that. I was up till I think midnight, 1 a.m. or something, emailing people. I do think you have to go that extra mile. If you really want the money, you got to go after it. People, I can't shove, we all as business owners can't shove all of our time like into an 8 to 5. Like we sometimes the only times we have to communicate are these weird hours and stuff. I got to be there for people or different time zones and whatnot. Got to be there for them. Oh yeah. Heck yeah. I know someone really close that they're blindsided to this, but super cheap rates is a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game. Really dangerous game. It is the easiest way to start out. I'm sure every landscaper, every real estate agent, like they're all like doing things that they shouldn't be doing and undercutting and providing over the top service. Same with restaurants and stuff. But over time, you either have to understand that and adjust and start charging what you're worth, or you will just be miserable and eventually it's going to just swallow you up. It's going to swallow you up. I had another 9x12 marketer who wouldn't raise their, like 9x12 cards. I give you the flash of my, it's an upcoming thing, but food card, but it's 9x12. And she's done tons of 9x12. She might be watching tons of 9x12s. My throat's really dry from talking so much. The cost of 9x12s printed, because there's such a big card, shipping, printing, ink, all that stuff, paper, has gone up dramatically. Like it's what used to cost, like, I mean, I sold 10,000 of these for like $1,250 for like 7 years. And now it's like 1,900. Like it's gone up a ton, but she would not raise her rates. And she's like, oh my God, these rates. I'm like, this inflation, you need to raise those rates. And no one will do. You have to raise those rates. You have to raise what you charge. You cannot just keep absorbing these costs. Everyone knows things go up. It's all, we're accustomed to this now. You have to, or else if you don't, as things go up even more, you're going to get further. You're going to have to make a giant jump at some point. You're going to have to charge suddenly $200 more an ad or something when you could have just charged, $30, $50 each over the last couple of years more. But now you're going to be in a real bad position where you cannot just keep absorbing these costs. It has to get passed down over to the consumer. You have to do it, or else it will swallow you up. Running that cheap game is bad. It's okay to be like, I run some things on really tight margins, really tight margins. That's because my systems allow me to do it. And I know, and I just messed up something. I printed something that I wasn't totally really good with, and we ended up kind of butchering that on my end, and I ended up going like $800 in the hole or something. It's not a lot of money, but it's still like, it was really pissed me off, especially with the time that we had to put into it. I ended up going in because I tried to be super competitive with it, and that was a mistake. It was like I was not paying attention. If you know what you're doing really well, you can get away with little tight margins, but you really have to know that that product and stuff. Hi, Jim. It's good to see you. It is easy to spend someone else's money. I always think of when people get EDMs from me, I'm always like, especially direct to the business owner, it's a little different with marketers because they're spending someone else's money. But when a business owner like comes to me for EDM, which I get a lot now because of YouTube, I always think like I'm spending someone else's money. Like this is a person's money. And I think if you go in that mindset when you're dealing with customers, like this is someone's hard-earned money. They work really hard for that money. So I'm always thinking like I'm spending someone else's money. I got to do the best I can. I can't be taking thousands of dollars, even hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, and not like think it's someone else's money. But yeah, it's really easy to spend someone else's money. Butcher it. When pitching, Gama says, when pitching the businesses to do EDM, I think it's too expensive. Whole video could be dedicated to this. Oh God, yeah, I can't spend a whole video on this, but it is a common thing. It's natural to think it's too expensive. You know it's cheap, right? You know it's cheap because you're informed. The EDM is extremely cheap. Cheap is subjective. What we think is cheap. They don't understand that. Just because we know it, they don't understand it. Mail's a very foreign thing to people. So you do have to probably work on your presentation a little bit better so that maybe they won't arrive at that. If you work on your pitch a little bit more and you think about the best way to tackle an objection is to prevent it from happening in the first place, which is not have it come up. So if you've pitched it in a way that they understand that they expect it to be there, or they're pleasantly surprised, oh, wow, this is really inexpensive. There's many ways to do that. We can dedicate a whole show to that, but then you won't have that objection coming up. And then there's a way to tackle it if it does come up and how you can tackle that. But you got to figure out why they think it's expensive. Agree with them. I'm always agreeing. Okay, yeah, I totally understand. It's not the cheapest thing in the world. But here's why it's actually really inexpensive. You can explain things and just figure out why they think that's expensive and correct them. I don't know. We can dedicate a whole thing, whole episode. No way to cover that right now. And some people are just nuts, but it is very cheap. EDM super cheap. Is there anything else anyone wants to add? Because I am probably going to call it a wrap here soon. It's great to see all you guys. I really appreciate it on such short notice. Showing up 3.5 hours late. What did I have? Someone had an interesting. I had it written down. I don't know where it is. I had it written down. I don't know where I wrote it down. I use GoodNotes. You guys ever use that on iPad? I used to be a yellow notepad person where I just have bazillion yellow notepads. I don't even use them anymore. And I have Moleskine notebooks and stuff. I use GoodNotes on iPad. I love it. I love it. GoodNotes, Apple Pen, iPad, and the matte paper finishes. Can't remember the brand I got, but it's really good. Highly recommend it. It's like writing on paper and nothing's lost. It's so nice. I love it. And I actually share it. I share it with one other employee and we share the notes together so I can write things and then she can cross them out as she goes and stuff. I love it. Just looking at oh, maybe this is different. Someone's foot. What the heck? Okay. It's weird. Yeah, I need the water. I know. Okay. Great seeing you guys. I will see you next Thursday. I love these Thursdays. I will see you next Thursday. I hope you have a great week. I hope you make some deals. I hope you use some EDM to get more clients and more customers and more business. Feel free to email me if you have any ideas for topics that you want covered on the next one. Yeah, I was foot. It's gross as a foot. A picture of it was like a deliberately placed and it was really disturbing. I don't know why it was there. I'd share it, but then I don't know what the person wants. It's gross. All right, I gotta go. See you guys.